Hey, you guys, Melissa from Shiro Coffee Chat, and I just want to get into it about this 38 CFR. All right, let's talk about it. 38 CFR 4.10. I know definitely that sounds very technical, but it's real simple. It's Title 38. That's the federal rule book that the government uses for veterans benefits. And Section 4.10 really focuses specifically on functional impairment in your everyday life, right? So, in plain regulation, it tells the VA how to evaluate disability. It's supposed to look at, how your condition impacts your real world functioning, migraines, PTSD, just different things like that. Those are just two of the many that there are. But it's really supposed to tell how that impacts your world. How your ability to work, right? Your energy levels, your relationships, stability, everyday life. It's just that plain and simple, everyday life. But recently, right? VA Secretary Collins signed an interim rule that shifted the focus toward how veterans function while on medication and treatment, right? And that raised so many red flags. It raised so many concerns. And we all know because medications don't cure PTSD, right? We know that. It doesn't cure if you have chronic pain. It doesn't cure that. It doesn't erase any type of trauma. It really just manages your symptoms, right? And really, the worry was that, you know, if you're medicated and you're still pushing through, does that make you look less disabled on paper, right? Hmm. Well, you say you have this chronic pain. We know that you have this chronic pain, but when we give you these meds, they kind of help you look normal. They help you maintain. So you don't technically have a disability, right? So they tried to make it, well, in my opinion, they tried to make it look, make you look less disabled on paper. But veterans spoke up, organizations spoke up, conversations got loud. If you're a veteran and then you're in that space, uh, and guess what? Somebody listened because the secretary halted enforcement of that rule, right? They can't make you well with medication on paper for less benefits. You can't do that. Well, he halted it, right? And halting, and I want to address that because halting matters. It means that it's not being applied right now. Right, they're not doing it right now. But it's not the same. Halting is not the same as permanently removing it, because I thought I saw some conversations in LinkedIn earlier, and that they were addressing that, it's been halted but not removed because the language is still there. And I think that's why this is really in this moment right here is important. There's still an open public comment period, you guys. We got to get involved. We've got to get involved. And I want you to participate in that open public comment period right now, because it ends, I think, April 20th. I don't know, but there is a cutoff date. And really what that's going to do when you submit a public comment, it becomes part of the official administration record. And that means the VA is legally required to review it before finalizing the rule. So there you are, you have your voice on record, and definitely, can be heard. And I'm going to say it because I say it all the time, right? We cannot fight this alone, right? Let me say that we cannot fight this alone. And this is why joining veterans organizations matter. Join the VFW, join American Legion, join DAV, join AMVETS, join an organization, a veterans organization. And you don't have to agree with everything that goes on in these organizations, but you need to be counted, you guys. You need to be counted. And that's why we join these organizations, because like I always say, there is strength in numbers, right? One veteran is frustrated online. It's easy to overlook. It's easy to overlook one person saying, well, Secretary Collins did this, did that. That's easy to overlook. But thousands of organized veterans speaking together, that's what these veteran organizations are all about. And that, my friends, that is influence. It didn't even cost you. Well, there is a fee to join, but submitting your public comment, it doesn't even cost you anything. So I want you to, of course, join a veteran organization, or at least educate yourself on what these veteran organizations do. I want you to submit your comment. I will leave it in the link. I often forget to do that, but I will definitely leave this in the link. And I don't care what you write how you feel, write how frustrated you are. Get language, contact your politicians. If you want to, get the right language to add your public comment. But we got to do something. We got to do something, and we got to keep our foots on their necks, on their backs. We have to stay involved. We can no longer afford to sit idly by in the sidelines, because guess what? Change happened, right? That CFR was halted. So that just shows you the power and influence that we have. And joining organizations can make it all that much more profound. All right. I think that's it. Have a great weekend. All right. Bye.